Okay, let's start here. Let's start with energy. Everything we're going to talk about has something to do with energy. So, I'm going to encourage you to kind of shake it off. Whatever you brought into this, whatever the day had, whatever has happened up into this moment in time, and even whatever you're anticipating happening after, let's just bring all of our attention to right now, right here, right here, right now. Be here now. And let's do what us humans can do. And we're going to actually physically, mentally, and energetically get some coherence with our brain, our gut, and our heart, which will allow for more coherence during this whole session. So, we're going to do something a little different. Rub your hands together, and as you rub your hands together, you're going to breathe in for 4 through your nose and exhale for 7. All right, rub your heart. Now watch this. You're going to reach up above your head and bring it down to your heart like this. And then rub your heart again. Reach back up. Bring it down. Rub your heart again. One more time. Both hands on your heart and breathe in for 4 through your nose. Out for 7. Out for 7. If you feel thoughts or sense them, let them flow through like clouds in blue sky. And really imagine your mind space is blue. I like to blow the clouds with my exhale. Let one hand go down to your solar plexus or belly. Let your fingers interconnect. Drop your shoulders down. Let your shoulder blades go back a bit. And imagine a balloon is attached to your scalp and is lifting up your spine nice and straight. As you inhale, imagine you're inhaling universal love and light. The light that is consciousness, that is all that is good, and that gives us life and everything life. Whatever that means to you, God, Christ consciousness, Buddha, Dalai Lama, universe, the name's not important. Think about the texture and the vibrancy and the life of it, the aliveness of it. With each inhale, let it fill up your heart, let it fill up your whole energetic operating system. And as you exhale, share it with all, everyone on this call, everyone in the whole online atmosphere and universe. If you're feeling very ambitious, this next one, share it with the whole world. You can only share what you have, so make sure you're breathing out love and light, whatever texture that feels like. Inhale for 4, exhale for 7, and pause. Inhale for 4, exhale for 7, and pause. Keep this cadence going and pause for as long as it feels comfortable. Don't get dizzy or pass out, but the pause is very important. I'll explain it to you in just one sec. So it's your own cadence. I'm going to stop talking. Inhale for 4. Exhale for 7. And then pause before you inhale again. This session, this time, this space we share is for the benefit, the empowerment, and the advancement of all here and all watching the recording. This is an energetic transmission of truth, of amazingly positive intentions. And I invite you for the next 50 minutes. Forget everything you know, all of your beliefs, and create space with an open heart and an open mind for a new experience. That is how we shift our energetic operating systems. And that's how we shift any area of our life that we'd like to. One more 4 count inhale, 7 count exhale. And when you're ready, rub your hands together. Yeah, get some kinetic energy. Rub your face, rub your ears, reach up like a champion. Yeah. The pause. Oh yeah, and you can get a little funky with it if you like to. That is absolutely allowed. That pause that you take at the end of the exhale, that is the sacred space where connections happening between your conscious and subconscious, plus your subconscious is very receptive to the field. It is that space where magic and alignment happen. So pay attention to that space. It's creating the space between the breaths, between the thoughts, where the magic happens. All right. Very appreciative that you're here. And there's a small group, so we're going to do some work. So if you don't have a pencil and paper, get it, because you are going to have this opportunity to actually shift some energy right now. Because we're always moving energy. We're always moving energy. When you take a breath, move an energy. When I move this from here to here, move an energy. When I drop this, gravity is moving energy. Energy is always moving. It's always doing something. So we're going to move some energy. All right. You don't have to share this unless you're feeling particularly brave. But what I'd like to know, and I'd like you to be as honest about it as you feel comfortable, what do you want most in life? Write it down. Ask your heart, ask your brain. I'm not going to ask you to share it unless you want to, but I am going to ask you to dig in and get really clear with yourself what this thing is. Perhaps what you want most in life is different than it was yesterday. Perhaps you haven't really allowed yourself and given yourself permission to dig in and explore what it is you want most. Maybe right now. Is it this or is it that? I'm not sure. Whatever rises to your heart, whatever rises from your heart to your brain this time, go with it. You can always change it. I know what I want most in life is different now than it was a year ago. Does everybody have one answer? Yeah? Okay, this is very important. This question is actually more important than the first one. And I need you to be radically honest with yourself. This is between your true self, your personality self, and all the other selves that are residence in your mind, body, and everywhere else. The next question is, and this is the one I need you to be radically honest with. Why do you want it? If you said, I want more money, why do you want more money? Because it'll give me more freedom. Then ask again, why do you want more freedom? I want more freedom so I can go where I want. I mean, if you ask why again and again and again, we're all ultimately going to get to the same exact answer. Why we want it. I mean, be demanding. Be very radically honest with yourself. For most people, it's more health or more money. Usually it's money or something money related. Sometimes it's health. Sometimes it's more love. Sometimes it's better relationships. My experience is when we ask why, rigorously, honestly, and directly, again and again and again, we're going to come down to we want to feel a certain way. We want what we want because we want to feel a certain way. And ladies and gentlemen, that way is love. We want to feel loved. We want to experience love on some level. And I would venture, without looking at any of your papers, if you continue to ask, why do I want freedom? Why do I want to be able to go where I want? Why do I want to be able to see what I want? It's going to come down to an experience of love. As human beings, everything we want relates to the relational connection with others, plus the essence of who we are at our deepest level. And that is the energetic essence that I call agape meta, love and light, universal source. So get very clear on what you want and why you want it, because my objective is to help you get it. I'm back. All right. If you have not heard of this before, I want to introduce you to something that took me 25 years to figure out. And I started off nutrition and fitness, well, teaching kids for a while, then nutrition and fitness, and then lots of psychology. I'm very well versed in flow psychology and logotherapy from Viktor Frankl, Adlerian psychology. Over the years, partly going through my own struggles with addiction, with heartbreak, with depression, with anxiety, with PTSD. I have a lot of mental health diagnoses. And the only thing that I've maintained consistently my whole entire life is my physical health. For me, that's just part of my EOS. Mental health, financial health, relationship health, roller coaster. NEAT has a cool name, but it incorporates the missing piece that one can cure health issues, fix body issues, financial issues, and essentially move you from where you are today to where you want to be. So I started studying metaphysics. And before I even go into there, what is metaphysics in case you've never heard of it before? It's a real thing. It's the physics that explains things beyond modern physics. It's basically the energies we don't see. And I got my doctorate. I'm still working on my last thesis. I'm doing it over. So kind of like on the borderline. I say Dr. Tom because I'm I'm foreshadowing it. I'm assuming the wish fulfilled. But the very thing I'm teaching you now is what I'm writing the thesis on. So metaphysics has been around since ancient cultures. Steve Jobs, metaphysician. Oprah Winfrey, metaphysics. There's a whole book about it. People have been using the not seen with our eyes energy to create their outcomes for years. And it's in scripture. It's Neville Goddard, one of the original metaphysicians. So here's what I'm going to teach you now. You have 4 energy processing centers. One is your brain, one is your gut, one is your heart. They all have neurons. And then the other, I call your light. You can call it God. You can call it Christ consciousness. You can call it the quantum field. They're all working together all the time. So many of us believe in God, or we don't believe in God, but we know there's something else. We know that there's a universe. We know that there's a power higher than ourselves. We know that there is a super intelligence. We have different names for it. 89% of Americans, almost 9 out of 10, believe that there's a higher power. Very few of us are tapping into it. People go to church every day. They sit and and I have nothing against church. Believe me, I've tried them all. By the way, I love every religion. I believe that Buddha and Jesus and Dalai Lama and Allah and Muhammad, they should all dance together to a Michael Jackson song and do a disco polka to a house trance song and just don't stop till you get enough. It's like a big dance party. It's all the same thing. It's energy. So if we're not tapping into our light, we're not maximizing our potential. The people who are the most successful in the world, like Ray Dalio, the biggest hedge fund moneymaker of all time, huge on tapping into the light. Not religious, but he uses metaphysics. That's what I'm going to invite you to do now. All right. The one reality is consciousness. So call it whatever you like. It's energy, it's consciousness, and it's real. And until we start incorporating it into our energy processing systems, we are missing out. But Tom, I don't want to pray every day. Tom, I don't want to go to church. Tom, I don't want to read the Bible. I don't want to read that. Then do this. Right there. That breath. Spiritual connection. I'm going to show you how simple it is to get all of these energy systems working together, as long as you're willing to do some different actions each day. A good way to look at it is like this. You have 2 states of being. You have survival, which is also constriction. In fact, I'm going to get fancy. I'm going to move this over. Look at that. That's constriction. That's fight or flight. Unless you are escaping from a lion, tiger, or bear, oh my, there is no good in that state for us. Our health diminishes. We're unable to consciously create. Our brain does not work as well. The other one is creation. This is our creative mode. It's also expansion. It's also flow. And it also feels really good. All of this is connected with that. This is connected with programs we have in our bodies that we have not needed in years. Yet, most of us spend lots of our time in there, rushing, worrying, and everyone's favorite word, stressing, judging, analyzing, labeling, comparing, all of those take us out of the creative state. Now, maybe you can be right here in the middle, but when we're here, tapping into that, it affects the neurons in our heart, the neurons in our belly, our gut microbiome, and of course the neurons in our brain, And we become receptive to higher levels of intelligence, consciousness. But we have to do it every moment of the day unless we slip back into the old default mode network programs, our automatic programs. So watch, everybody. Breathe in, 4 counts into the nose, 7 counts out. Just doing that one thing gives you a moment of alignment. But it's deciding that you want to be a conscious creator. I'm choosing to be a conscious creator, which brings me to the next one. Whatever you want to have, whatever you wrote down that list, before that, you must be. And then you do. And actually, I made up a word called Boeing. It's being and doing together. You're being that true version of yourself while you're doing. But unless you're being in the energetic state, the having will be what you've experienced in the past. What do you mean, Tom? I shall tell you. First off, everything's changed. Now with quantum particles and waves, everything's changed in the laws of physics. Max Planck, you can read this if you like. I'm going to just break it down for you. Everything is energy. Energy follows different rules than we thought, especially at the subatomic level. This light I'm talking to you about exists on the subatomic level lots. There's lots of subatomic stuff going on there in the quantum field, the universal field, and universal intelligence. Yes, there's stuff that we can experience and measure, but there's lots going on that happen because we align our energy. Everything in your reality, all matter, and all people are part of a single field of energy. We are all connected. You may have seen this in scripture or universal laws. The all is one, the one is all. We are all part of the same consciousness. So just take a second and think about that. Lisa, Ken, Sophia, Daniel, me, we're all streaming from the same source consciousness. I like to say one light. The light is one, and the all is light. We are all streaming from that same consciousness. Your thoughts, perceptions, and observations have a direct effect on what life experience you're having. That's your body, that's your career, that's your finances, that's everything. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, yeah, I know all this, then I would ask, why aren't we living the life we love and desire if we know all this? Because we know it consciously in that 5% of our brain, but it hasn't sunk into the other 95%, the subconscious, that is running the show. I love this quote by Oliver Wendell Holmes. A mind expanded never returns to its original dimension. The foundations of Newtonian physics have been overturned by quantum mechanics. Pretty much all of them. You can read about this in so many different journals, and a book I just read recently called Metaphysical Millionaires. This guy did lots of research, and he gives all the studies. Like quantum reality allows non-local causes, discontinuous jumps and quantum leaps. But here's the one thing. Consciousness is the one reality. If you can believe that consciousness is the one reality and that we live in a benevolent, kind universe, and that your thoughts, your intentions, your beliefs, your perceptions impact the quantum field, you can change your life starting right now. But if you don't believe those things, you're going to be stuck in the same old programs. If you are able, if I am able, if any human being's able to expand their awareness and become more connected with the universal consciousness, your creative power to create the life you desire, it expands, it multiplies, and that's why people like Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey's a great example. Big conscious creator. She loves Eckhart Tolle. She loves Gary Zukav. She loves all this stuff. And she loves Jesus and Christianity. But she's so open to the thoughts connecting with consciousness. So if you believe you are consciousness, and you believe we live in a kind, benevolent universe, you can start changing your life today. I hear what you're saying, thinking, Ken, how do I change my life? Here it is. Let's see. Oh, here, I'm going to show you this one first. Your neurobiology, your mind, body, hormones, your thoughts matter. Your beliefs matter. What hormones are circulating in your body right now matter. These are all connected. The energetics, that's the vibrational frequency of your body, your cells, your heart, also known as your energetic signature. I like to call it your energetic identity. Right now, all of us have a certain energetic signature that is attracting like vibration. Alignment is what we're going to talk about today because that may be the most important thing. Tomorrow, we're going to talk a lot about the techniques, the morning alignment, R3, real-time practice, and my favorite, which I'm writing my thesis in my first book on, is called radical embracing. There are ways, techniques you do throughout the day that improve your consciousness, awareness, and expansion. Again, I'm going to remind you, 4 counts in, 7 counts out. If you leave a little space before you inhale, that creates space for alignment. You already know words matter. The thoughts you think most of the time become your beliefs and become your programs and have a huge impact on your energetic operating system. All right, let's talk about this. This is your alignment. First off, everyone desires change in their life. You can't help it if you're human, unless you're drugged out, stoned, drunk, just can't think. You have a desire to expand. The soul desires to expand and express more awareness with the oneness of the consciousness. If you are a human, you have a desire to expand. We will always crave expansion. For instance, if you learn how to ride a tricycle when you're a kid, you wanted to ride a bike with training wheels. And then you wanted to ride a bike without training wheels. And now you might want to ride a motorcycle, drive a car, maybe even fly a plane. Think about everything in life. We want to expand, and that's okay. It's part of being a conscious creator. And when we ignore that desire to expand, you get depression, midlife crisis, drug abuse, lack of fulfillment, horrible relationships, abuse, lots of stuff. So don't ignore your desire. That desire is part of your conscious blueprint. Now, from your desire come your intentions. Your intentions matter. Your intentions direct your attention throughout your day. Like my intention right here, and I wrote it down on this notebook. My intention for this session is to inspire, inform, and empower every champion who shows up. That's it. If I start slipping away from that intention, there's a little internal GPS that gets me back on track. Know what your intentions are. Intentions are huge. There's 3 levels, but focus on the second one, which is intentions, which are like aspirations or goals or tasks that relate to your desire. With an intention, you need to know who you're becoming and what you're going for. But the when and the how, that's up to universal consciousness. For instance, I have a desire to get on a TEDx stage and inspire, inform, and shock people with what I show them about radical embracing. That's my intention. Who do I need to become in order to do that? Well, someone that's going to go do a spoken word on a stage right after this. Someone who keeps practicing, talking out loud. Someone who is getting criticized by others. It's who I'm becoming. Someone who is becoming very confident in speaking out loud and sharing things, even if they're controversial. What am I going to do? I'm going to keep speaking out loud and performing until I get on that TEDx stage, and then I'm going to get on another TEDx stage. It feels good to say it. It feels good to think about it. I don't know when, and I don't know the whole how. I know tonight I'm going to another spoken word, and I'm doing another one Friday, another one next Tuesday. And I know sometimes when I practice them and record them and listen, they sound so good. And other times when I do it out loud, I'm like botching words and not saying it right, and just I don't get the good feeling. But that's part of the deal. So your intention is who you are being and what you are consciously creating in the world. Now here's where it gets fun. Your thoughts. Thinking thoughts that are aligned with who you are being and what you want. If they're not aligned with who you're being and what you want, Houston, we have a problem. Central brain, we have a problem. Old programs, we have a problem. Which brings me to our star of tonight's show, awareness. Nothing changes without awareness. Being very aware when thoughts enter your head that don't align with your intention. Most importantly, the who and the what. If it doesn't align with your intention, ask yourself, what belief am I still holding on to that's causing that shitty thought? It's okay. Oh, by the way, no shame, no blame, no guilt. The law of grace is your most powerful universal law. The law of grace. Meaning, the moment you notice it, you become the loving, graceful observer of it. Not the judge or the critic or the fixer. Become the observer. Give yourself grace for not being completely 100% perfect. Instead, get curious. I wonder where that belief, wonder what belief I'm still holding on to here. And then you may notice you're giving some meaning to what happened and you catch a feeling. That's usually what happens. When the feeling happens, it's because of the meaning we gave to this, whatever happened in our life. We give it a certain meaning and we get a feeling. In case you haven't noticed, unpleasant feelings don't feel good in our physical body. They don't feel good at all. And often when we get an unpleasant feeling, it triggers an automatic response. And those are what get us in trouble. Our beliefs cause our meanings that we give things. You can also call this your perspective paradigm. And these beliefs are our programs. And by the way, we get to choose our beliefs, but some of the beliefs we're working with, we didn't choose. Somebody gave them to us. And we've been running them the whole time. And these beliefs cause our thoughts. They cause our reactions. 17 seconds. If you hold on to a thought for 17 seconds, the synapses are forming. If it just pops in your head for a little bit, but you let it go, R3 it, no damage done. I'm going to invite you to look at this, and I would like you to come up with a question if any of this doesn't make sense, because I know sometimes I talk fast and I get excited. The emotions typically cause our reactions, our actions, our behaviors, and that's what creates our outcomes. This is the alignment trail. Why am I telling you this? Here is the punchline of the whole presentation. If you change one belief, just one, you will shift your energetic operating system and you will shift your level of consciousness. One belief. You don't have to fix everything at once. You don't have to fix anything. We just have to let go and release the resistance, which are almost always beliefs. This will never change. This is neuroscience, this is psychology, this is physiology, and this is how we get our outcomes. Because when we get outcomes we don't like, our vibration lowers, we feel icky, and we attract more of the same. When we take actions that aren't aligned, same thing. And especially when we feel low vibe emotions, that creates our energetic signature. If we change our beliefs, it's going to affect our thoughts, and we want to align our beliefs with the who intention and the what intention. Your homework for tonight, and this is how I can help you help yourself. Identify clearly the who you're being and the what your intention is. And identify what beliefs that version of you has that perhaps you don't have now, and what beliefs you've been currently holding that don't match up. What beliefs do you have now that don't match up with the who you want to be, the who you're choosing to be? Because I'm going to tell you a little secret. We choose our beliefs. We choose them. That's neuroplasticity 101. We get to choose our beliefs. Even if it's a belief we've had forever and it's so subconsciously buried, that's why we have negative emotions. They let us know when we're still holding on to a belief that causes thoughts, that causes meanings, that causes emotions that we don't like. We ask ourselves, I don't like the way this feels. What belief am I still holding on to that's causing this unpleasant feeling? Because the moment we state our intention, the quantum field, God, Christ consciousness, is working to help us put it in action. And when we start veering from that path, that's when the negative, unpleasant emotions come in. They're our guidance system, our emotional guidance system. When it feels good, we're aligned, we're on the right path. Doesn't feel so good, it's okay. It's just a little nudge to get back in alignment. All right, questions, comments?
Sophia had one in the chat I saw.
Oh, thank you, Daniel. How do you shift unpleasant feelings? Okay, when a feeling is being felt, it's like wind. You cannot do anything about it once the wind is blowing. When a feeling is going through our body, we must let it flow its course. After the feeling is there, we must breathe it in and breathe it out. But here's the key. Feel the feeling without labeling it, judging it, or describing it. Feel the feeling without telling yourself stories about it. A belief, a meaning, a reaction caused the feeling. That's the issue we got to fix. But after it's already caused, don't reinforce it by telling yourself more stories, arguing with it, justifying it. Or here's the one I used to do a lot. Oh, that person just said no to me. I got rejected. I start feeling the shitty feeling. Right away, I say, yeah, but they're not that good anyway, and I don't really care anyway, and I just could go do this instead. And I just sidetrack myself from that feeling by using my brain to think of something that's more pleasant. guess what? That feeling's still there. And later when I get rejected, it'll come out even more strong. So in order to shift our feelings, it's deeper work and shifting our energetic operating system. For instance, somebody criticized me yesterday, and perhaps it was valid, perhaps it wasn't. There's truth. I mean, it depends on what lens you look at it from. A year ago, if that would have happened, I would have lost sleep. I would have attached so much meaning to it. I'm not that good. I must be better. But this time I said, yeah, okay. I could see that. I bet you if I just shifted this one thing, it was like curious objectivity instead, because I shift my belief. My old belief was if someone criticizes me, that means I suck. If someone criticizes me, that means they don't like me, and they don't like me, love me, and I'm going to be lonely forever. I'm going to die. Almost always the belief is linked to a fear of dying, either physically dying or dying in loneliness or something we have in our life coming to an end. We have beliefs that won't make sense when we bring them out into the light. I call it dancing with your ogres. Sophia, I hope I'm saying your name right. Sophia, I'm going to say Sophia. Number one, when the feeling happening, let it flow without judging it, without labeling it, without telling any stories about it, because that just reinforces the belief that caused it. Number two, this feels unpleasant. Ask yourself this curious, playful question, even though you're in pain and it sucks. Still ask yourself, what belief am I holding on to that's causing this negative feeling? And if you breathe in and breathe out, it will come to the surface. If you do the morning alignment practice I'm going to show you tomorrow, it'll come to the surface. Great question. Any others? Any questions?
No, excuse me. This all makes sense. I mean, from what I've learned from you, it all kind of flows.
It's kind of like review.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. I need to be reinforced.
So dig in and let's choose one belief that this week and the rest of this month we're going to shift. Daniel, you as well. Just let's choose one belief and let's shift it. And when we figure out the who and the who that I am now believes that I will make a healthy living with my presence and with presenting without chasing people. It believes that I have something important to say, and if I say it from my heart with authenticity, that people will benefit from it. Those are beliefs I have. Old beliefs were, I'm too old, I have too much of a receding hairline, my teeth are too yellow, and I have this big gap, plus I have those fat things under my eyes, which looks like I'm always sleep deprived, and I'm not good looking enough to get on a stage and talk. I'm not good looking enough to do the spoken word. Like I had those beliefs. And you know what? Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. But my voice still works. So I believe if I speak with truth and not people pleasing, that someone will hear what I have to say. And that's a belief. So your homework is to get clear on your who, and your what's going to change. Mine's changed so much. Like TEDx stage, write the Radical Embracing book, and start the Light Sharing Institute. Oh my gosh. That's a huge, big intention. But just one step at a time. And this is my now step right now, this presentation. But if you can identify one belief, and it would be the one that's causing negative feelings. And it's okay that you have a belief that doesn't serve you. But it's our job now to bring it to the light, dance with it, and give it a change. That way we get different outcomes. All right. So homework is clear on your who. And you know what I would recommend? Is this. Write the who, write your what, and then make a little T-chart. On one side, no beliefs. No, gotta go. Those are the beliefs that don't work for you anymore. And yes, I possess. I just made that up. Beliefs you have. And just write them down. Because these beliefs create your energetic operating system. But sometimes beliefs are running the show that we're not even aware of. But that changes now. Because it all works together. Oh, I have to bring it back home right here. It all works together because if your beliefs are shitty and you're always in a low vibration, you're missing out on the light.
Mhm.
You are just operating with the brain stuff you have left. You're operating with the same old programs you had before, and some of them are going to be stored in your subconscious, which people can relate to your gut, but you're missing out on the light. To get in the light, you have to raise your energetic vibration. You have to raise your energetic identity. Now, you'll get glimpses of it, for sure, but imagine having a steady flow because you were always consciously deciding to raise your awareness and be more connected. It's possible. I have never had this consistent streak of inner peace in my life, ever. Not even when I was doing drugs and getting drunk all the time. Never. And it took me 3 years to get to this point, but I know what to do when the shitty feelings come. And I get shitty feelings, but I know what to do when they come. And each time I call out that belief and I figure out what the opposite is and what belief is true, and I start practicing the new belief. You can do the same because I am not special. Trust me. In fact, I was probably one of the hard cases. But it takes awareness, it takes courage, and it takes curiosity. But most of all, it takes grace. Be so gentle. The moment you get mad, oh, I can't believe I did that again, it just reinforces the old belief. It's all synaptic wiring. It's all neural pathways. But when we create space, which we did at the beginning of this session, and when I'm going to show you many more ways to do it tomorrow, when we create space, we let the light take care of some of the work for us. So figure out the belief you're going to change, and I'm going to remind everyone of R3. Limiting thought, limiting belief. Thought comes in your head. It's not aligned with who you are, what you want. Recognize it, awareness. Release it. Don't even argue with it. Release it. Breathe it out. Breathe out the thought. And then realign with your true you belief. New and true belief. R3 it. It's a tool we use all the time. There's so many tools. Like I counted up all the neat tools. There's like over 30 of them. But the only one that matters is the one you use now. And I would say your breath and awareness are your top two. Okay. Daniel, thank you for being here. Lisa, thank you for being here. Sophia, thank you for being in there. I'm really glad you made it.
Thank you.
I will put the replay up. All right. Thank you. I love you. Bye for now. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Same time, same Zoom channel. Adios, amigos and amigas.
Bye. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
You're very welcome. See you next time. Bye.